I told the man in white that I will be applying for an NMP role also. I think it's the right thing to do lah. Your voucher giving will not be enough in the next 5 years. Whether or not I'm in politics, you have that problem. I'd rather I work with you on the Bitcoin stuff and then we solve this problem on the outside as opposed to me having to join any party. Firstly, I didn't know there was this opposition volunteers network. Like they just went around Singapore and like, hey, Jeremy Tan needs help doing flyers. Who can tompang? Then like, oh yeah, my side PSP done already today. Hey, we need commissioner of oaths to do the chop before they all can become counting agent. Who got that? Hey, my side can tompang. Come.
So it's just a grassroots.
Yeah, it's just the rebellion. Part-time rebellion. I bring out the suggestion, I bring out the stats so that everybody can use and debate freely. I think Lim Tian and his PAR use some of the stats on my website for his rally also. He's like, I do the homework, hey bro, hey, tompang.
To celebrate SG60, we're interviewing 60 Singaporean seniors over 60. And if you want to get involved, time is running out. So listen up. The project is called Words of Wisdom. And we are capturing stories of Singaporean seniors as national heirlooms to be preserved for future generations. And this is your final chance to nominate a loved one to be interviewed, because the remaining spots are disappearing fast. Your parent, grandparent, or that wise uncle could miss their place in history if you don't act now. And here's the best part. It's a heartfelt one-on-one interview done remotely. So no travel, just their life story recorded from home. This is their last chance to be heard, so nominate them right now at our website folklore.com. And don't forget, the first interviews are already live, and you can hear them at the same link. The link is in the show notes, so hurry because we are closing nominations very soon. And now, on to the podcast. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Yala, your thrice weekly podcast where we talk about the hottest news with a touch of hot turns.
Good old humor.
Good old humor, man.
Yeah.
Feels like there's going to be some good old humor on this episode, especially.
Yeah, it's one of the latest new stand-up comedians in Singapore that I'm really looking forward
Recently, coming of age influencer.
Yeah, he had an electrifying 45-minute set recently, right?
That now has got 140,000 views.
Yeah.
I think in total more than 200,000+ views.
Yeah.
Embarked on his new influencer fame while trying to do good. So without further ado, welcome to the new master of Instagram, Jeremy Tan.
Thanks for having me, guys.
What's up, man?
I know you guys tried to book me about a year before, but I just wasn't ready lah. Finally, I got time for you guys.
Finally, thanks so much, man, Jeremy.
Thanks so much, Harry. Really I know you wanted me to come for a very long time already. So sorry I could only come down.
In the style of Jeremy Tan, I got receipts to show our conversation, Jeremy.
Yes. I mean, for those who maybe don't understand some of the jokes that we're making, right? I think everyone knows Jeremy as the independent candidate who shone the brightest during our GE, right?
Yeah.
And had a very electrifying 45-minute roast of the PAP in his rally speech towards the end of the hustings period.
Right.
Correct. Then a lot of people were very surprised by the depth of what you talked about, but also very entertained at the same time, right?
Yeah.
But how has it been for you since the GE, man? What have you been up to?
I've been trying to beg the Workers' Party and the PAP to let me in.
Any luck?
I said, hey, please let me in. Hey, I just want one seat.
Yeah, we're just saying it's like the NMP and it was an audition, and then now the independent candidate was an audition to enter the party.
Yeah.
You got print jersey with number 38 or something?
No. Actually, I should print the number 12.2 because that's the absenteeism rate highest in Singapore.
Yeah.
Mountbatten is the highest in Singapore.
So what do you attribute that to?
People in Mountbatten got money lah, like you lah, Resh.
Hey, I voted lah. Okay, I voted.
I mean, they see a May Day and then they see a Vesak Day.
Yeah.
To them, it's no brainer. It's like they cannot even stop. Like their clerk will automatically book holiday for them. No choice on.
Do you foresee that at all from the people you spoke to on the ground?
Okay, so the funny thing is that actually one of my old Reddit comments is I've been trying to manifest that the date be in 15 September. Okay. So I said all the vouchers disbursed, no holiday that week. Give one long weekend. People will take it because I know bugger this type of thing, right? This long weekend thing, right, will always affect one. 1968 turned out. So when they selected the date, right? I know chances are low lah. So I think on Mothership I said I think my chances are around 35%.
Yeah.
Then after losing, people were like, whoa, such intuition. Lose also, he know he will lose how much. Then I just like, no. You in Singapore, you don't talk rubbish. You go out there, be nice, be friendly, speak sensibly. I think you generally take 33%. Because smelly got 15% of people, right? Die is want to help you take deposit back. Right? They don't care what you say. They're just here to help you take deposit back. Yeah, so I saw it as I was public about it. I think I'll get around 30+%. But the best is to lose below 40. I don't lose at 48 like Andre Low like that, like 49 that kind of very steams like that one. Yeah.
So that means, I mean, but at the same time, as much as you say 15% want to help you deposit, your end percentage was 38%. And I mean, first of all, congrats on that, because when we met you while we were doing our busting, I think one thing you said that you want to almost show how an independent candidate should run.
Yeah.
And I think people can look at it and be like, wow, this guy talk big, but you backed it up. And that was great to see. And I will say that your rally also was entertaining, but like what Terence said, there was some things that you covered which I thought other candidates didn't, which we can get into. But I mean, your estimate that you get about 30+%, it's still much higher than 15%. So that means you were quite confident of getting like 20% more.
Yeah, I think like I was confident in knowing what the strategy was.
Yeah.
I mean, there's two parts to this. Firstly, have to be very accessible, right? So social media, I was out there. I was letting people book my house visits, book my calls, and I was fully booked, right? And I was doing Chinese media, Hokkien with N987. Now I do all the podcasts, even yours, right? Too bad I couldn't come because, I only can give time to the major ones. No, but basically the podcast, CNA, Channel 8, Ximin, I did the whole suite, right? So if you didn't know who I was, I tried my best, you know what I mean? Like I gave out flyers, I did national media, social media. So some of the parties, people accuse me of like, hey, why you don't join party? Party got resources. Then I'm just like, you all got resources, but what do you all do with the resources? Right? I spend, other than rally, because rally is a fixed cost, you cannot change much of it.
Yeah.
I spent 8,000 doing flyers, t-shirt, some posters, and the labor to disseminate them. All my volunteers are unpaid. So the posters to hang up one need leather and a bit of OSHA. So I get the construction worker guys can do one, right? So my rally was 2,000 to book the site, the most expensive one. Pritam's fuel was $700.
Oh, really?
But he had to pay more in barrier.
Okay.
I paid like $1,000 in barrier.
What barrier?
The heavy metal barrier.
And you were paying it to the police?
You to source your own contractor.
Source your own contractor.
Then on the May Day itself, right, the whole Singapore, nobody got barrier left already. Then basically all the rallies took all the barrier.
Wait, actually, how does that process of rallies work? Because from a non-candidate, what I understand is that they will open it up like a few days prior, then you book, and then, but how do they decide who goes where?
So just to finish off that part, $6,000 was my sound system, $2,000 was my booking fee for the rally site, and then $1,000 was for barrier. So that was how much I spent on rally, 9K. 48 hours before, you can book as early as you want, but 48 hours before the thing, they will ask you to come down. If nobody come down, then you take . If not, you ballot . So if Miss Goh shows up on 29 April, what to ballot you? Then we have to ballot wall . But there's also a rule that basically there's a whole matrix . But the rule is that if she has already gotten a site a day before you, right, priority is yours.
Okay.
So she did . On 30th April, she did her rally.
Yeah.
And then and first, I got it . Right?
Yeah. Was there a reason why you chose to do it only on the first and not any earlier in the
I
campaign?
wanted to have a bit of branding angle to it, like Mayday Mountbatten, something like that.
But
because I felt like I wish the message had gone out earlier also. Because the May Day, there was just so many rallies and everyone was, even to some extent, rally fatigued. Right? They've been to a lot. So I was like, wow, if you had done a few days earlier, I think there'll have been even more buzz about everything that you say and do.
Basically, by the time May Day came around, all the racist slur use finished already.
No chance for you to go viral.
No chance to go viral already. Even the apology has all come out already.
So then do you look back, do you wish you did it earlier? earlier?
No. Because you take the last slot, right? Then obviously anything that has been said about you have the full gear, lah, right? And then one thing that I did that was very helpful was my friend helped me cut the clips while I was speaking.
Okay.
So the moment I'm done with the rally, I go back, I speed post on TikTok.
Oh.
And then I let TikTok do God's work for me.
I see.
Yeah. So because with the algos, right, if you start too early, some of the content later gets lost to more prominent algo, more prominent content based on the algo. Yeah. So actually, this election, I feel like a bit disappointed with PSP and SDP not putting more effort in TikTok. This is the first TikTok election and you all don't use TikTok. Like, then you all are the ones that end up making the TikTok, all the opposition screaming, we need to spend more money, then racist slur, that kind of thing. Then we all look bad as opposition. Because worse is that people say, oh, look at this year's opposition, all talk like that one. No time to talk. Then see, my area independent, even worse, don't even bother. But then there are some people that on the day of polling day itself, then they go and check, hey, what? This is my candidate. I poll already. Jalat.
So then, like, I mean, feels like you had a strategy going into the elections. Am I right to say that?
Yeah.
But how long had you been working on that strategy?
So the earliest recorded date of this strategy is, I would say, when I met Pritam in August or September last year.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's the first time I martyred. I said, hey, I want to try independent candidate.
So before that, like, it must have been in your mind already, lah.
In August 2023, I wanted to run, but I hadn't set my eye on Mountbatten yet. Yeah.
And the precursor for wanting to run, because another question I have is, like, I know you call yourself a retiree, uncheck Bitcoin, but what do you do during the day that you got time to research on policies and stuff like that? Yeah,
so I read a lot of books. I read a lot of X. Then I'm the kind I don't believe whatever mainstream media say. So if I see somebody say left is like that, right is like that, then I'll go to Blue Sky and read a bit. Then I go through social and read a bit. Then I go to 4chan, I go and read the QAnon. Yeah. Then if you got Chinese propaganda, whatever, I go to Xiao Hong Shu a bit. I just like to go to the source, right? Yeah. There was a case whereby I think last year they said a lot of NRIC credit card leak, Singaporean credit card leak. Then MHA was threatened. First thing I do, I go and find the forum that leaked this. I go and buy the leak just to see how bad it was. Turns out it's not bad.
Okay. So you purchased the leak information?
Yeah, I purchased leak. I'll go and look for all these things because in Singapore, all these like things are, because in Singapore we're very digitally savvy, but we're also too chin chai with the way we treat our data. So I'll go and look for it. So you ask me what I do every time. I'll go and read policy. I'll go and see what people are doing. I'll go deep dive in forums and then I'll go and write the stuff. But as of 2023, when I decided to make a run for it, I translated that into, okay, how does it matter or affect Singaporeans?
And what made you want to run?
I think in very simple terms, I see the country direction wrong. I must do something. Don't wait. Right? And of course, at the start, the don't wait part is I go and look for Mr. Pritam Singh first. Try to volunteer. They mistakenly called me back for a second volunteer session, which I went. But afterwards, they never called me back already. Right? After I told them what I told them, right? So, in another more anecdotal way is my mother flat cannot sell. Listed at 800 plus K, but the lease past 50 years. Cannot sell. Then what you want me to do? Wait for somebody to solve my problem. In the old days, you got problem, cannot solve, go run for politics already right? It's the same as you go to meet the people session, right? You skip all the like red tape or just straight away to the MP, right? And for me, it's like, hey, this one, all these issues, nobody's gonna, you cannot talk on, you must just go. Talk about who.
And you have that bandwidth because it's also something that, I mean, you have mentioned that your business got sold, right? And the reason why I'm asking this and want to clarify is because I have also heard people say, this guy is brilliant. All he spent was like 10K and he marketed himself damn well for his own business. And like the motivation is not very clear. So how would you respond to that? Because being you're 34?
35 this year.
35 this year.
Yeah.
And having that much time, it feels like, hey, is this guy a scam or what?
Yeah, so a bit late already. Pritam got elected at 35. Lee Kuan Yew, the Giga Chat, became PM at 35. So actually, it's slow already. NMP also don't know whether can get. No, I think People say this, promoting is business. People don't even realize I got no business to promote. People don't realize I have a private IG of 500 friends. That's all. There was nothing to promote.
But you're an angel investor and you have no personality.
The people in the community know that I've been a bit more lax. I have not been cutting checks for about a year plus. So it's nothing, and there's nothing to push because if the companies are not raising a round, there's nothing you can do. And then you see some of the angel investors on my LinkedIn is like dead. They just died. No money, right? And there are some also I didn't list there because maybe they're going through restructuring and hard time and I didn't want to like put it there down, on my LinkedIn. But there's nothing to promote. And then there were people like saying at the start, hey, was he trying to pump the Bitcoin? Brother, Bitcoin is 2 trillion. If Trump cannot move the market, I cannot move the market. Right? It's a scale thing, right?
Sure. But I mean, interesting. Just now you were saying you're using the words like we opposition, and you talk about it like you very knowingly are going into this to oppose the PAP lah. And your rally was very much like it wasn't just about Mountbatten, wasn't just about Goh Sze Kee, but overall roasting the PAP lah, right? Now after the election, do you look and seeing how opposition themselves handled themselves, there was a lot of infighting and name calling and things like that.
Yeah.
Do you still look at it the same way, like we are all one opposition and all that?
No, because at the end of the day, people, I think that this is more to PAP's credit lah. They make it look like it's PAP versus everybody else lah. We're the juggernaut. The reason why we are the king is because we are this much, right? I mean, there are people who come and give me some details like, hey, this GRC, we got 54 cases of financial aid. It costs about 600,000 every month. They tell me, you as opposition, you think you can ever solve this problem for them? But he's also in support of like more people coming up, but he's like, I also want you to succeed, but I don't think you can solve this municipality level without problem. When we say we opposition is, unfortunately, a lot of people just see all of us as the same guys.
Yeah.
Sometimes, right, warranted because people jump party. Right, saying Workers' Party,
correct.
Then a bit of main character syndrome lah. They go and make it about themselves, they make it about their history, then they kind of attack each other, that kind of thing. Then it's like, focus on policy lah, guys. There's no need to talk about anything else lah. So yeah, we the opposition, unfortunately, is a bad thing to have.
But you say then, it's very egoistic about themselves. Do you feel like that you managed to push away that perception that you're doing this? You're doing this to promote yourself and not really in the interest of helping Singaporeans. Do you feel that you've succeeded in making that clearer?
I think it wasn't clear that I was promoting myself, right? Because up until nomination day, I think if you're on Reddit, I was getting whacked on Reddit and Zone on like really independent candidate. What's he doing? Then I wasn't even sure if this thing might how by maybe day 3 or day 4 it's surely like gonna return off because you don't know how much the media want to cover you. You don't know you can even make the slots. That's why I gave you all this time slot. I feel like you all should be thankful, no?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Jeremy.
Yeah. So the thing is that I didn't know, and Straits Times, right? Even within themselves, they also said like, what for we cover independent candidate? Got so many parties. Just by the sheer like, okay, which party is contesting, which party qualify for the PBB, the political party broadcast. We should follow the rules because resources so limited, they have to do what they can for a bigger group of people, which is Singaporeans at large.
Yeah.
Mountbatten itself is like what? Then Radin Mas is what? Daryl is what? Like, why care? So I can respect this, but going in, I didn't know how much media coverage they were going to give me or for me. They were collecting stories every day. They were asking me when I walkabouts every day. They were shooting every day. But it wasn't clear that I could promote myself. I could have promoted myself in a negative light, very negatively. And if you go back and check the early Reddit, how Zone stuff, all like just getting scolded. Yeah.
So when you were getting scolded, did any part of you feel like maybe this was not the best decision?
Getting scolded, I said, your nomination day, you watch. And then you watch. Yeah. No lah, I think I think actually in the video clips it's evident that at the start, right? I wasn't sure what people wanted. So I
from you or from in general?
From what I said lah. Okay, so I was talking about Bitcoin, talking about land. Then people like talking about what the hell is this shit?
No, when you went on Daily Catch Up live stream
Everybody blur.
with Xia Xue,
Yeah, everybody blur.
biggest influencer in Singapore, there was this sense that she was not really understanding a lot of what you were saying, lah, right?
Yeah.
Well, at that point, you are saying that was the feeling that like people didn't understand you.
That was pivotal because I went back to look at the comments and I see the feedback and I see my body language there. Then, Daily Catch Up, their fans are more of like younger crowd. Maybe they haven't been through multiple election cycles, right? Then I judge, okay, I need to change my speech a bit.
Oh, okay.
So I leaned in more towards personality. Then I don't even talk about Bitcoin reserve and something like that. Some strategic adjustments I did on my website also is I made the first step housing. So you go click policies, the first step is housing. Initially it was Bitcoin. Then I was like, okay, I should change. And then some basically UI UX stuff lah. Okay, like on my website, you go right, fast load, night mode, dark mode, and then English, Malay. Then within one click you can click policy. Within one click you can see why I run.
Yeah.
PSP website to see the manifesto. You got the sound. You click the next page. Right, and then got the zoom in, the press plus. That's like, how to read, bro? I download the whole PDF, then I had to read it like separately though. And then Workers' Party, I think I told you all, I think like they had a manifesto something like 5 days before or 3 days before. But they don't care because the way they play their game is people know who we are. We're for manifesto. We don't know who we are about. We're about the real deal. Right?
So what aspects of your personality do you decide to lean in on?
Yeah, I decided to because so the feedback I got from Mothership was, our people say you like robot like that.
Is in the comments, is it?
No, like the Mothership journalists will tell me, like, my Mothership staff tell me, you like robot. And how come you want to talk about money, about this world thing, what you Joe Biden, Trump, and that. Then I'm like, okay, fine, that's very good feedback. Then I go Daily Catch Up. John was trying to get me to say things about Bitcoin. Xia Xue was trying to get me to talk about how I sold cleansers for like $10 profit. Then I'm being pulled apart, and then it turns out that John really admitted later. Actually, Jeremy was the only one that didn't receive the question list at the start for all his guests for this election.
Is it?
I don't need the question list, but if you are like trying to focus on one area, I need to know where I want you to focus on.
Okay.
But I also appealed to John to say, let me have the Xia Xue segment. Right, and I think the day before was somebody else, because Xia Xue would give me a more good sensing on how Singaporeans saw me as a person.
Really? You thought so?
Yeah, so I appealed to John. Got received one, bro. I texted him, please, I want to be a Xia Xue.
Because you think she's like a barometer, is it?
Yeah, because you need the swing voters, right? So you need to go and see who is she speaking? Like, if she speak to me, then I know the swing voters, how they sense me.
But she hardcore PAP, right? She PAP.
Which is better, right?
Oh, so you want
they are the swing voters, man.
Face the challenge.
Yeah, they face the challenge, man. If you take like a very pro-opposition one, or like maybe Sharon George or whatever, that's like, how you gonna do, Yeah.
Wow. So, okay, I mean, because leading up to your rally, right? I mean, I think even showing my friends your rally speech and all that, they're very shocked by, obviously, the eloquence and the depth, but even just the performance aspect of it, it really felt like a stand-up comedy, like very polished Netflix stand-up comedy special. You had your microphone and everything, and you had all your points lined up and all that. Was there a lot of consultation with stand-up comedian friends and all that about your script?
Okay, so firstly, I actually asked Prem John, the guys from ECC,
the East Coast Comedy,
right?
Okay.
Can I do a set one of these days
for your rally?
No. Way before,
I thought you were testing your rally speech.
Last year. But I got busy preparing for election, so I never got about to doing it. And then Jackie Ng, so shout out to Jackie, one of the best comedians in Singapore. You guys know Jackie Ng,
yeah.
Right? He tell me, hey, I got a joke for you in your rally.
You knew him beforehand already, lah?
Yeah, I got a joke for your rally. I want you to say, why do they keep stuffing these candidates that we don't want down our throat? So like, who's that one? Lam Bin Min. Then he expect me to like ask the crowd, Lam what? Then I just like, no, cannot, Jackie, no. He said, it can. Then he in Melbourne eating his seafood. He said, I write one more joke for you later after I eat seafood. Then I, no, never mind.
So that's your script consultant, like.
No, no, no.
Workshopping.
Workshopping, yeah.
No. So basically, I think maybe 20 minutes before the rally, I was at home writing. So I tried to keep some facts there, and I tried to be less dependent on any like speech. So you see the words here, like, on my prep, I will say the word like freestyle. Then at the bottom also I write the word like freestyle about AI, inflation, whatnot.
I see.
Yeah.
So I mean, for those listening, he's showing us his notes, which is literally there's a label freestyle, and some other sections.
Yeah.
A very long note list.
And let me tell you what happened the day before the rally. My internal screen died.
So screen is your
Oppo
phone
N3. My warranty is still valid. I'm coming for you. And then my computer also died. All electricity, lightning-based problems. Kena zap, then suddenly all got
The day
problem.
before.
The day before.
Then?
No, my phone was the actual rally day itself that it died. Then that's why you see me on the stand, right? I put the phone there.
Yeah.
Actually, I wanted to fold out one.
Oh.
But then I was like, I cannot fold out.
Cannot fold out.
Yeah.
So, but the message, I mean, also was like, it wasn't just about Mountbatten. It wasn't just about, what you do for the municipal issues. But it really like roasting PAP for 45 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Did it go through your mind like, do I really want to go down this road of like negative politics and all that?
The residents of Dakota Breeze will attest to this. I have been going around my campaign trail, right? I've been telling everybody when they ask me, how is Miss Goh? How is Mr. Lim? I say, Mr. Lim has done a phenomenal job. I even acknowledged it in the speech. How is Miss Goh? I say she's a very nice person. I met her nomination center, right? So much so to the point I was shocked myself that when I was going around distributing flyers on the 30th, then I hear her just like roasting, and then people texting me, hey, she's really going in at you. Then after I watched the thing, I was like, who wrote this script for you?
At her rally, at her PAP rally, she was really going for you.
Yeah, and I think Lim Biao Chan spoke longer than her as well. So I'm just like, why y'all doing this? And I thought we shook hands at Nomination Center, and I believe that she, at least this particular rally stuff, she had to clear with comms team somewhere lah. Right? They cannot be like, let me go and freestyle also lah. You know what I mean? So at least I knew from the very fact that she interacted with me, she's a very nice person. Mr. Lim Biao Chan, everybody sort of know him also. And so I was very surprised that she came out and said some stuff at me. And I'm just like, but in all good banter and fun, every 5 years one time, then just give the people what they want lah. That's politics, right? Right.
So you felt you needed to clap back?
Honestly, I really was prepared to talk about more of like, let's see the future vision of Singapore, all that. And then like so many people are so angry, and Mountbatten residents, hey, she say this about you, but you're not gonna say anything back, man. You encik Bitcoin, you no balls, you. Yeah, then I was just like, okay, well, I write lor. Yeah, then I had a friend. I had a friend who chipped in also lah. He was just like this guy that just wrote for me lah. Yeah, he's a debate coach also. He runs a debate academy. So we used to be buddies. Then he's just like, hey, let me write. I know you're a bit busy, so let me write some stuff for you.
I see.
Yeah.
But was there any backlash to that from, I don't know, PAP supporters or from the candidates themselves?
I felt like I kept it clean.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I felt very clean. But it's quite funny because right before I went up, the election meeting liaison officer would, the one that jaga the logistics of the day, he'll come. Hey, come. Jeremy. We analyze your language online. You're not going to use vulgarities right later. I was like, no. Then I was done, I come down. Because I used the word suckers. Do you think I'm going to take my residents or suckers? Why must you use suckers? Then I said, but this is a very British parliamentary term. Really? Okay, I write that in my report.
So are there explicit rules to not swear or anything, or it's just like a verbal agreement?
It was a verbal agreement. It was like, she also like telling you it won't work for you. You go out there, if you say these things, then you're going to look very bad for yourself. So,
Wait, but so you said generally you thought it was clean. I mean, one instance I was like, oh, wow, you said something quite spicy. It was like, you talked about how you all shook hands at the nomination center. And I think she made a comment, hey, this investing thing, I'm not good at it. That kind of thing. And I mean, in your speech, you kind of alluded to that in the sense that there might be a reason why she doesn't understand the whole Bitcoin thing. To me, okay, a bit more of like, not that it was personal, but in that it was a part of a private exchange between two people just shaking hands. I mean, I'll shake your hand and say, hey, I suck at meeting people. I'm very lousy. But if you later use that against me in a speech, then I'll be like, hey, why you say this kind of thing?
No, I think she will know that I'm quite gentleman about this because she gave me other things about her life that I totally don't use.
Okay. That's good to know.
So all the one that very lame one, like this type of small thing one, I take out.
Okay.
So it's context based. But her personal one, I never take.
So you got curate lah. Okay.
But
she knows this.
Have you had any contact from her or anyone from her team after?
A day before polling day, I wrote to PMO. I say, may I know who to contact if I had to congratulate PM Wong? And I wrote concession email to PM Wong congratulating him and Miss Goh.
Any response?
No.
Okay.
But it's generally not their policy to acknowledge
sure.
So I mean, we've focused a lot on the performative aspect of your campaign and all. But when it comes to the substance, right? I know one thing that you were not the biggest fan of people criticizing you was that because you were so vocal about Bitcoin, that became like your only policy. But you go to your website, to your credit, you do have policy suggestions.
Yeah.
But is it like, have you been studying policy for a long time? Have you been politically interested for a long time? Or how did you come to have those thoughts?
I think after I sold my company in 2021, then I exited a few more along the way, much smaller exits. I really dug into the latest parliament, the 14th parliament. So I read the entire Hansard end to end. Every speech ever made in the parliament, the 14th parliament, I read it end to end. Yeah. So when you talk about like, my website got policies or the other thing, right? It's because when I read the Hansard, I realize a lot of things are duplicated. Like the boring hours. Because one day parliament only two sittings a month, and then sometimes the speeches, the speeches are like really coordinated to a certain extent. Very boring to watch.
Yeah.
The best way is to just go read the Hansard and that's the best I can do right? And I criticize this on my policy also. I say the parliament right now is not an efficient mechanism to create change. Because twice a month, speaker gives you 20 minutes, and then if time overrun, you have to write a written question, and then you'll never see the day of light unless your social media game strong. Then you can. This is what they tell me. So a lot of criticism of Bitcoin. Nobody talk about other policy. If you look at what Workers' Party is doing, they can say this policy, that policy we contributed, but people can also say maybe PAP talk about it, right? And that's what they say, right? Your 17 ideas, PAP, we also got to think about it. Don't take credit. And I think this is the correct way. No party should take credit. Right? I bring out the suggestion, I bring out the stats so that everybody can use and debate freely. I think Lim Tian and his PAR use some of the stats on my website for his rally also. He's like, I do the homework, hey bro, tompang.
Yeah. So it's like, on that note of stats, right? Because there's the one thing that we've heard from some opposition candidates and the issue of access to data for opposition politicians or opposition candidates. How did you face any of that? Or like where do you get your data from aside from the Hansard?
Straits Times and CNA. Everything that I found online, most of them is either Straits Times, CNA, Business Times, Age Prop, all local publications that did their work, and this is pure journalism not like some weird blog that you cannot verify. Even the stuff that the TOC that put out, I also go and quote, but I know the ones that sensibly make sense and then I put right?
Yeah.
And the lack of information is difficult if you last minute do your homework. But I've been collecting for 3-4 years, right? No issue.
Also, you're saying that problem of how, sometimes we hear opposition politicians and candidates say this, that we can't come up with the nitty-gritties of policy because we don't understand things like how much is in the reserves.
Correct.
And all we can do is kind of a high-level stuff, and you can't blame us for that. So do you disagree with that?
No, I think that part, right? Okay, I mean, let's talk about the most concrete example. It's the Leong Mang Wai versus the Tan Si Ling one. Of the new jobs, how many go to the local bond? And then how many convert over? I think the point quite well made already. 91.3% of the jobs created the last 4 years were to foreigners. The point made already. Move on. Just move on. I think he spent too much political capital in the last couple of months fighting Tan Sin Ling over this, to the point, even the Canto thing, right? Yeah. What's the point? People already know. It's a reality, fact alive. Time to change tech. People angry, finish already. You know, in politics, right, a lot of people don't want to be angry because it's just a very natural thing, right? Marketing, right? You don't want to be angry all the time, right? You want to hear the solutions, different ways. Then you feel inspired to be engaged in politics. A lot of these angry politics didn't work for independents like us because it make people apathetic to the policies.
Yeah.
Then they just like, all the politicians are all crazy, just want to attack me. So you talk about speech and the rally, all the stats that I brought up, right, I kept for years, right? And then I published on my website, right? If you keep for years, right, you know the trends. It's just like I have this stat that people didn't believe. 80% of Singaporeans pay effective income tax of 4K, less than, basically they earn less than 6+K based on the income tax. This was made in a speech by Lawrence Wong in the Hansard 2022. If you didn't hear it back then, you wouldn't know. But if you've been keeping receipts for 2-3 years, for 4 years, you can recall it very quickly. Yeah. So all these opposition say no research. Then the question is, I one person, I keeping receipts. How come you all got so much resources, you're not doing anything? Right? Right. And then sometimes I think they have an issue of balancing, creating a policy that looks like it will get them votes versus creating a policy that, maybe other parties will steal the idea. You know what I mean? So the statistics are out there, but some statistics not out there, the point still can be made.
I mean, that was the thing about the rally speech. I think I had gotten so used to listening to a PAP rally, what they say, and then listening to an angry opposition rally, just basically blasting the PAP. It was a breath of fresh air listening to you talk about how you would, the lift issue and becoming, and really go into the weeds about lift contractors and all that, which is something that we all interface with every day, but we don't think about how it's done. We just hear, PAP does it best, Workers' Party also maybe can do, but how about your opposition? Correct. Like, how much research did really went into understanding something like the lifts? Because you said you talked to, you looked at tender contracts, you talked to all of them. You mean you've been doing that for 3 years already?
No, that one I've been speaking to people for about maybe 6 months or so.
6 months, okay.
Yeah. Because very easy, you see the tender list, you see who lose, you go there, why you lose? You're going to win. Then they're like, I tell you this is what I don't like.
So you literally went to look at who lost the tenders for lifts?
I have a Google sheet on my website. I say this in my rally. I classify as who lost, who is tendering services in Mountbatten, this is their contact number. And then at my rally, right, I went home, right, wow. Someone contact me. I do fire services. We have license to do this. Then we do live. We do ACMV. But then after that election, I'm like, I lose. I cannot even contract you.
Because you did say during rally, Mountbatten is open for business or something like that.
Yeah, but I really did publish a Google sheet of all the tenders in the last 4 years, which is like, and then if you don't believe that I done my work, go and look at the sheet, Yeah, as in like they want to have business, right? Contract losers are the most bitter one. Every Cheng Hu contract loser will be like, I tell you, I could have done the same job for this price, man. Cheaper also can do for you, man. Right? So just talk to them. They are very happy to just be like, you're also not any party. Just give you some information.
Is that how you ran your businesses also? Where you
of course you go and get 2 quotes. Cannot be you say, you're very good. I just go talk to my. I said I just got 2 quotes. Then after that, maybe I like something lower. You can add all your 3 give me. Then you see who makes the last mile.
Yeah.
Right?
Because in effect, that was like, you're sort of like dodging the process a bit, right? Yeah, looking into the efficiency.
In a more traditional way, right? Just shopping bits, right?
Yeah. Which, for people who are so used to the political culture in Singapore, we didn't realize, there's this other way of thinking or looking at it.
Yeah.
But I mean, when going through all of that, was there any point where you're like, this is too much to deal with also for one person as an independent candidate?
I think what was too much to deal with is was trying to give out all the flyers and doing media at the same time. Like I was replying on Reddit while giving flyer. Then after doing this blog, I need to drive off to one location to do. Luckily, we all in the east, right? All the buildings around here. Lipo building, all around here. Yeah. And then even though financial coconut at downtown. So it was very tiring. I was sleeping 4 hours a night. And also because my calendar, right, I let people book from 12 p.m. to 2 a.m. Because Mountbatten, some people overseas.
Yeah.
I have people calling from overseas saying, hey, wow, I mean, this part of the world, I cannot work for you because the nearest one is London, which is like maybe like 8-9 hours away, that kind of thing. So I put it until 2 a.m. so that people overseas also can. And turns out the overseas voters pushed up my votes by a bit, like 0.02% or something like that.
But were would you say most of the concerns were municipal, or were they with lawmaking in Singapore?
I think by and large, because Mountbatten is 73% private property, municipal effects are the least lah. CDC vouchers effects are the least lah. But I still have people tell me, in Chinese lah, like June got voucher, May I cannot vote you. But they don't know that the budget has been issued. Right? And eggs also. Hey, you're who? You're no party, you can provide me eggs, man. And it's like, I mean, it's true lah. But the next election, you have to beat PAP at the retail politics game. You cannot just sit around and whine and KB, then what? Just let them steamroll everybody. Because you see right now the issue is that for you to be an MP, you need to clear municipality issues first, then you can raise any concern. Right? In some ways, I can understand the rationale because for most people, municipality is more important than national issues. But if that is what people want in general, then yeah lah, too bad. But in Mountbatten, I think most people stay private property. So maybe I thought my chances in doing this was a bit better lah.
Because they might not be the most focused on municipal.
They also don't pay SNCC, so they don't receive any SNCC type of activities. Right?
I see. And then so, I mean, now when you walk around Mountbatten, I'm sure you've been back and everything, right?
Yeah.
How's the reception? Do people come out and say, hey, I voted for you, everything?
They say, hey, why you walk around? Miss Goh is our MP, you walk around for what?
Oh, is it?
No, nobody said that.
Are they asking you to come back or what?
They're asking you to come back, but the broader question is, what will happen to Marine Parade, Battle Heights, right? Because Mountbatten and Marine Parade is connected by the fact that last time, Lim Yao Chuan is Mountbatten SMC, but he's the chairman of the Marine Parade Town Council. So he basically signed off on all the reports lah. So inextricably linked. Have to think about if I come back, do I contest Marine Parade or Mountbatten? Second thing to think of, even if I win 5 seats in Marine Parade, maybe any party lah, Workers' Party or whoever lah, maybe even PAP. But even if I win 5 seats, right, what's the key metric of success here? Is it that I have 5 seats and I'm making policy? Because that's not going to happen. I'm still going to be, PAP still has a super majority, right? Or if I win 1 seat in Mountbatten, again, right? If I come back and I run it back and I win 1 seat in Mountbatten, is that considered success for the country? Right? I think it's more important to consider what is success for the country, right? It's like, well, can I continue to advocate for change? Can I continue to push for things that Singaporeans deserve? Is my capacity better in a 1-seater in Mountbatten as an independent, or rebranded in Marine Parade, or as an NMP or outside? All got its benefits and its disadvantages lah. I would have to say this lah.
So that's something you're strategizing now lah.
Yeah, because if I run in Marine Parade, Battle Heights, I now have a personnel issue. I need to make sure volunteers are good, the candidates are good, and then we tighten up our comms. Then we have resources to handle. It's a whole are you starting a business with business partners, or are you doing it by yourself? Right? And then are you doing a hobby business, or are you looking to exit? Right? And are you looking at cash flow business, or are you willing to take losses for a long time? So all of these things are weighing on my mind right now lah. And then I speak with everybody that I can make a better decision lah. I mean, there are a lot of people that want to come and volunteer with me now. I told them I need some time to think through lah, because all the parties except Workers' Party all licking their wounds also. We don't know what, we cannot beat by the PAP one time good ones.
But are you surprised by how many people have volunteered? Because I think on the recent podcast you said there are 500 volunteers now.
Yeah. Because on LinkedIn itself got maybe 100 and
they message you.
And then on my website the sign-ups are I think 200, and then existing on 70 or something like that.
And does that number surprise you? Or you kind of knew that, okay, if all goes according to plan, it will
Click
resonate?
only, very easy. Put name, number, email, click only. Maybe inside there also got PAP volunteer, we also don't know.
Sabotage you.
Yeah, click only very easy one. Going to do only, that's very different. Yeah.
So I mean, you know, one thing, you have a business background, and sounds like, I mean, you're successful. Like, you have exited your own company, you have exited some of your investments. Why do you think entering politics is the best way to make change, lah?
I think beyond just like say doing think tank work or like being a professor or doing forums and all that, I think politics is one thing that I feel Singaporeans have disengaged for a very long time. I don't think like they've watched the TikTok of like people dueling in parliament, that kind of thing, like Jamus versus Grace Fu, that kind of thing, carbon tax, Tan Si Ling versus Liao Ma Wai, Pritam and versus Edwin Tong, all that. But I don't think they understand the policies yet. And the way all of the parties explain the policies in general it's very hard to understand. It's really, really very hard to understand. Yeah. It's entering politics for me is like, I see it as like, you don't start a business because you want to start a business. You start a business because you see the opportunity. You must be good at it, and you must also have a product that meets the market. You must have a product market fit. I saw that, okay, I've been studying politics for a very long time. I was a debater, I was a debate coach. I understand it. I know how to translate it simply to people, right? And I thought, okay, I might be able to do well here. And I enjoy doing it, right? A lot of them, I don't know why they're doing it. And maybe it's for, ego, for revenge, or whatever. But I enjoy collecting these facts and writing about it. So if you don't enjoy, you sure cannot do it properly, right? If you don't enjoy, maybe you do it as a full-time pay, part-time job lah. Right. But if you enjoy, you do it as full-time pay, full-time job mah.
Yeah. But I mean, you okay? So clearly you think about strategy. You think about adapting your strategy based on feedback and all, right?
Yeah.
But another thing that I think you have been criticized about is your focus on Bitcoin. Right.
Yeah.
And I know on another podcast also you said you are more concerned about getting the message out than saying stuff that gets you the popular vote.
Correct.
But looking back, right, given that you place so much emphasis on strategy, do you look back thinking that, okay, maybe your emphasis on Bitcoin could have come later because the entry point would be focusing on issues that are more relatable, and it's ultimately your comms lah.
Yeah.
Do you look back at it like, okay, that's something that I could have done better, or you stand by what you're...
I stand by what I did because I even have friends. So I debate with my friend who is the campaign manager for Darrow. So we
the
have
other
a common
independent
friend,
candidate.
So whether or not to use Bitcoin as an important thing or not, and I decided that because nobody knows who I am. If I go there talk about mother, father, poor, firstly, you all cannot outpoor me. I was very poor. Like, I had to walk to my cousin's house to shower, that kind. Then electricity also don't have that. But then again, that story gets washed out. It's just, who are you? Cookie cutter lor. Oh, I poor, then I became like a PSC scholar like that. Then you become either PAP or Workers' Party, right? For me, the Bitcoin thing is because I believe in it. At first, right, I wanted to keep it under wraps. I just like, maybe I'm Jeremy Tan, that kind of. But then I realized that it cannot. In order to cut through the noise, I need to use something that people will be able to say, hey, that guy do Bitcoin one. Huh? Who's the Bitcoin? I go and see his stupid video.
Also, it was part of your strategy.
You start with noise, you start with a joke, you end with a message. Yeah, that's the strategy. Yeah. And it started as like, what Bitcoin crazy. And then the message is, oh yeah, actually our inflation pretty bad. And we got no solution. And then Ong Ye Kang and PM Wong was saying, oh, retirement asset, HDB is retirement asset in the latest campaign. And I was like, oh, that's disappointing. Because in the back door, in closed doors, you all acknowledge you all got 60 months to fix this problem. So I ended with that message. And now people know a few messages. One, cannot be full-time pay, part-time job. One, HDB as a retirement asset doesn't work. And then the last one, CPF cannot compound properly and it's showing up in our healthcare costs. It's showing up retirement inadequacy. So, that was my general strategy.
So it's a bit like a clickbait title to pull people in to watch the full video and then the message is
Yeah,
inside.
but then must also counter back, which is the original clickbait is the actual solution also.
Oh, so you have a callback, lah.
Yeah.
So then, throughout the campaign, like, what was there anything that surprised you? Because I mean, I can imagine, you sounded like you were already expecting a 30+% vote share. I'm sure you went into your speech knowing that okay lah, this is going to take off. But anything that surprised you for better or worse about the campaign?
I was surprised. Firstly, I didn't know there was this opposition volunteers network. Like they just went around Singapore and like, hey, Jeremy Tan needs help doing flyers. Who can tompang? Then like, oh yeah, my side PSP done
And
it
it's
today.
agnostic.
Oh, really?
Any opposition?
No party, yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, hey, we need commissioner of oaths to do the chop before they all can become counting agent. Who got that? Hey, my side can tompang. Come.
So it's just a
It's like a
grassroots.
hit
Yeah,
squad.
it's just the rebellion.
Oh, wow.
Part-time rebellion. Yeah, fighting the empire, but they got day jobs also. Endor Tan, yeah. Yeah, so we have all these guys. They're like, hey, flyers, come on, we do.
Serious?
Yeah.
And how do you find out about them?
From after nomination day, people just say, I want to help you.
And they called, I'm from the
Yeah, they say, oh, I
OBN.
used to do counting agent for worker party. Come, when your counting agent is coming, I brief them.
Oh,
And they
wow.
teach us all the rules and thing. Then polling agent. Then you say, okay, if the polling center suddenly like Malaysia, the light turn off black, you all must faster take shot, torchlight, this kind of thing. That's like old school rules. So all the Ober come out and then just teach people what
And
to
they
do.
just believe in like opposition, they want to support.
They don't care what party, they don't care how lousy you are, they don't care what rubbish you say. They just help you with the basic stuff.
Yeah.
Flyer distribution, commissioning, teaching you
They're
the
like
rules.
mercenaries like that. Like.
Yeah, then your poster telling you here cannot put, this kind of thing. They're really just teaching you like basic hygiene.
I see.
Oh, shit.
And now you're part of that whole network.
Yeah. There's just
Anytime you
random-
call, they come.
yeah, call gang. yeah. I see PAP volunteer so many. I also have. Yeah. You and what army? Me and this part-time rebellion.
Okay, then what else?
I think the second one is very, very, very hard to fight retail politics. You must really try to double down on real solution.
When you say retail politics, like what do you...
There's grassroots. There's sparkle. Sparkle thoughts.
Yeah.
Sorry. Because during after nomination day, they have to go and stick over. Then it's just sparkle T's, then blank TS. Then I just like okay, now brain fart for a while. Then everything, the logos, everything, it really matters. And you cannot try to siam like just any small bit of conversation. You don't try to just shake hand and go away. People want to shake hand, you must ask, what's your name? Thank you. Can I interest you in like anything more, or can I learn more about you? Don't waste votes. Really don't waste votes, because there are some people like not even in power. They walk around, they think they are the star. They say come take picture, but then at the ballot box doesn't translate. Right? Cannot waste votes. You must everything you can get. Even my friend, Centaur, even he come and tell me before I chop whether you or your opponent, I also think twice and I'm a Centaur. That's how discerning they are. And it showed up like NSP. So as in like you cannot waste the votes. Everybody asks you, I book a call with you. Then I say, okay, this hour I'm still delivering flyers or doing media. I'm going to have to get back to you. I must get back to every single one of them. Right? And that is the one thing that I feel like surprised me for the better, which is it did translate to certain stats, like, which is like the making history stat, right? In spite of the highest absenteeism in Mountbatten, basically the whole Singapore, Mountbatten is higher absenteeism. The fact that I did not try to waste any votes, I think it showed up. I believe it showed up. Yeah.
And you went to every household in Mountbatten?
No,
or
like,
as you attempted?
Okay, so I think like I myself went to like maybe 20% of the landed. I covered 4-5 blocks of HDB, including yours.
Yeah.
I won't dox you.
Yeah, I saw you along the corridor.
Yeah. Then some flyers also sometimes you need to do racial profiling. You go to the door, then in front, you can see Jawi script. Okay, never mind. don't give the Chinese one, just give the English one. Save some flyers. Then you see Krishna. Okay. Give the English one. Give the English one. Yeah.
We can verify it, right? Because after we spoke to you on our bus and everything, we observed you from a distance as you walked off, and you were stopping people who were jogging along the canal and everything, and giving a fly to them and talking to them over a barrier as well. So we're like, wow, I mean, walking the talk, really trying to talk to everyone there.
Yeah, cannot waste the votes because people will say stuff like, hey, walk past him, he never say hi. Say hi also, don't ask my name.
Yeah.
Oh, he hao lian.
But are you naturally a very extroverted person?
No, okay, I used to do skincare business and keyboard business. Both high price items, right? So you get scolded for no reason at all. And I used to, back in the day, I used to run my own shop while I was still studying NTU. So the customer come in, I keep my book, and then the customer say, hey, why I buy $500 worth of your products? My face like that. My friend buy the $50 one, her face so chill.
Then how you respond?
Yeah, like, oh, is it? Okay, what did work? Come, let me help you change about that thing. I do, maybe do you haven't used something, return, that kind of thing. So getting scolded for no reason at all in my training.
But I mean, even that 9 days, even with training, you're talking to people all day, be it online, face to face. Did it ever, anyone feel like, wow, this is damn shag? Or were you energized by it?
I think it's energized. So I think you have to be slightly extroverted in this sense. But I think it's energized when you you talk on people on the street with generally no opinions. Then you suddenly get invited to one former PAP MP from 1970s when they only speak Chinese. And she show you picture of Toh Chin Chai or that. Then you're like, wow. This is, even if the election ended here today, this experience already very shook already, right? Or even people come tell me, hey, come, go eat lunch. Then eat lunch, Then after that, then this guy shakes my hand. Hi, I'm Terrence. Then I see the person come in, eat lunch with me. Jade Sia. Y'all stay in Mountbatten on that kind of thing. So it's just making friends and then hearing stories all along. The experience itself was just very enlightening to me. So those give you energy. The one don't give you energy one is kind of scolding Hey, why I only care about town council issue. I don't care about your politics at all. Yeah. So those will take a bit of energy
So how transformative has this whole election been in all the things that you've done in your life? Would you say it ranks somewhere up there?
I think it's the furthest I've ever been. In personally, this is the most I've ever done. I don't know how to see past the horizon.
Wait, what do you mean most you've ever done?
I mean, this is the most what the hell did I just get myself into, right? You don't know whether or not midway through the campaign, ISD pulls up, hey, you were late in paying your tax this day, whatever. Yeah. You don't know when. It's like you sleep with a bit of anxiety, because you don't know what somebody pull out your telegram, say, hey, see, last time you say you are a master debater or what, this kind of thing, And then we grew up in the South Park era where everything is just you shoot your shit since you're young, right? At least for me, maybe you're too a bit pure, Raffles boy, right? Or
never swear, never
Yeah, but so you have some self-doubt whether or not I'm clean enough for the people. But I decided to lean in. Never mind, this is my personality. People know me, I'm like that. So I just lean all the way.
So then how did your family take it? Because it's a lot of time away, it's a lot of time spent with other people.
Actually, okay, so my in-law side, they're all very funny, just watching a show, because they don't really, they're like, okay, cool. My own family side, I try not to, I was a bit worried because my mom had stage 3 cancer, bankrupt when younger, and then the unemployment time during COVID. These are wounds that I don't know if you bring up, then later they feel bad about themselves because it's national. Suddenly their friends are texting them, that kind of thing. So I was a bit concerned about these things. But I thought to myself, if you don't ever accept that the past is the past, you cannot look to the future. And I didn't decide this for them. I told them very long time ago I'm going to run already. Yeah. So then they didn't have objections. So they're cool.
But you didn't need to do scrubbing of your social media and shut down, set up account
fuck
again.
On WhatsApp, and all the
delete.
Change my face easier. No, I think my social media, I was generally a person that I didn't have very expressive pieces on social media. I'll share a meme or two and add some rubbish inside, but that's about it. Yeah. But of course, I'm just for future candidates, I would suggest that they also do something like what I did, which is just lean into your personality. If something comes up, the internet will take care of it for you. Right? Don't go and defend yourself. Just let the internet defend you. Right? If you're genuine and you're like that, because even people say, what, hey, like that, who won't ever join politics? It's all like mudslinging. Say like, Andre's text not even like, say like he trying to set people up or whatever, right? It wasn't even like he tried to scheme or be devious or anything like that, right? Then, of course, some people even say, hey, I know you're not that kind of person. Or even if you are, just reject lah. Don't even acknowledge lah. Why are you going to take the hit for what? You're 800 votes away from taking Jalan Kayu leh. Yeah, why you bother? Don't care. Wait until after. Then turns out, wow, Jimin got even bigger issue. Yeah.
So then, like, when you... I lost my train of thought.
What?
I lost my train of thought.
You lost your train of thought already. No, so I mean,
yeah.
So like now, post-election, it's been about a week plus, right? You know, there's cabinet hasn't been announced. NCMPs, we don't even know if it's all there already. How much more involved are you going to be in commenting about policies and, you know, publicly stating your opinion on things? How much do you still intend to continue this, at least for foreseeable
I'll be
future?
applying for the NMP role.
NMP?
Yeah. Likely you cannot reject. But
no, for real, that's not a joke.
No, for real.
This is an announcement. This is the
okay,
official
okay,
announcement.
announcement.
Yeah.
I'll be applying for an NMP role. I told the man in white that I will be applying for an NMP role also. And I think it's the right thing to do lah. Because of all the independent talk we talk about NMPs, I think I've shown myself to be very independent. Like no party actually ran for the election, even tried to be on the side of the blue, they kicked me out. You know, it's like Harpreet, you know, like say, hey, I want to be NMP and I want to join PV, then both gonna kick out. So,
But then what if halfway during your 2-year term, you suddenly feel you cannot be non-partisan?
Suddenly I feel like I like the color white, right?
Yeah, you just feel inside. Then how?
Then see how lah. Maybe they make me a speaker. They promise me eventually speaker. Then I take the offer, right? No lah. I think being an NMP role would be good in the sense that like at least I know for now, while I go and deeply entrench into municipality issues, I will understand municipality issues. I'll get to operate from the outside first lah. So there are two things that I'll be doing in the next couple of months. I'll be launching a EBRC hackathon. For all the data scientists, coders, engineers, population statisticians come and suggest how to draw the boundaries lah.
So EBRC is for the electoral boundaries. You to
Correct.
study how to do it, maybe in a more transparent manner.
and a hackathon, so like a contain 48 hours or something like that.
No lah, like maybe in a week or what lah.
Okay.
So like basically like a phase 1, phase 2 like that lah. So like phase 1 is all the policy out, and the assumptions and all the constraints. Then phase 2 is the public voting lah.
Yeah.
So I'll use my personal platform to get people to join, maybe like a school or somebody to organize whatever. The second thing is I'm developing an open town council toolkit. So how do contracts get priced? What do you require for this size? What's the effective dwelling unit? How often does a lift maintained? What is used in a mosquito cleaning? What is used in your aircon cleaning? Which one the HDB must jaga? Which one you must pay out of pocket? So you do the whole thing cleaner.
So it's a toolkit, meaning is it software or because your background is a software developer?
It will be basically an online platform where you can find out who to contact if you need all these people, like an open source repository of contractors that can do these types of services.
I see.
Yeah, so it will be quite a long effort lah. At these services, what prices to expect, what chemicals to choose, right? And then lift maintenance. I'm now lift expert. Yeah.
So this would be the most helpful for other independents who want to...
And smaller parties that haven't had the experience to join politics.
But is it also for town councils to potentially look at?
Yes, because I just went to drive by the Mountbatten, meet the people. They are using paper and pen, no?
Yeah, I've been to the MPS session.
Broken telephone problem.
And it blew my mind that someone's writing it down.
Yeah. Why is that so? I mean, you use your phone, then later you transcribe to AI or something. Also better than nothing. Right? So, and then they are the worst is the storage of these documents, docket. How to do this?
Yeah.
And this is Mountbatten, and this is where I ran. Right? So I went to go and study all these kind of things, and I found that, the whole Town Councils Act, written in 1988, or I think it was 98, due for a lot of reform lah. A lot of reform. Even we don't reform the constitution, we reform the way we approach this town council as a business. You must treat it like a business. There are many countries, right, in the world where the town, right, must have fiscal surplus sort of thing, then you take where also all these other things is like the full town council. Nobody knows where to understand how a town council is operated. And then the people who came out to speak to me that work in town council, they say they hate this process, they hate that process, they're wasting a lot of time here and there, everything lah.
So do you also study like how town councils are run in other countries?
Yeah lah, I mean a bit lah, not so much lah. But I think Singapore, by and large, we're still very efficient. But I just wanted to clear this municipality issue out of the way once and for all. Make it a living and breathing organism. Because from now on, people can actually say, hey, there's a better way to kill mosquitoes. There's a better way to handle pigeon droppings. There's a better way to do this. Right now, it's like we don't know what's the innovation among...
I mean, the Wolbachia lah, right? The one where more mosquitoes means less mosquitoes, which I don't understand.
I think did you interview the fella that did the mosquito study in Singapore?
No.
Like Singapore mosquitoes are well known to be the smartest in the world.
Is it?
Yeah, around 7
the
p.m.
education system?
Yeah, they they also got scholarship on. Yeah, yeah. So but also Bill Gates, he experimenting on mosquitoes quite a bit already.
Yeah.
So the mosquitoes here in Singapore are legitimately smarter than other countries' mosquitoes. They know the timing, they know the height to fly. And this one, there's a NUS professor, I think you can find, but you all can find this lady. Yeah, and then just because the evolution here of the mosquitoes is way faster. Yeah, so it's these kinds of things, right, they affect the cost for you to fumigate there. Yeah, it's like people say, hey, why are we paying more and more fees? Very often people don't pay more fees only because the HDB will tumpang the grant and all that to cover up your deficit. Yeah. But you talk about pure SNCC funds paying for the own town. Cannot work. Cannot work.
So throughout this process, was there anything about the Singaporean voter or society in general that made you, generally, did you walk away feeling very optimistic about Singapore or somewhat, like a bit disappointed? Because on voting day, there was one part of Singapore that was very disappointed. The results day.
Which part of Singapore is that? Can you just name the specific?
The demographic, the opposition, people who wanted more opposition. People who wanted more opposition. Very brave.
Yeah.
That one, but there was a sense of like deflation among certain demographics.
Yeah.
For you, like looking back right now that you got a bit of time to breathe, go to the beach, get some sunshine and all. How would you say your sentiment has changed?
I think I am quite motivated by the youths because the youth said, because of what I did, they are considering that politics might be something they want to join eventually in the future. They don't know whether or not it's like independent with the PAP, Workers' Party, start their own party. So I've heard some guys say they want to start like maybe a 3-person party, just focus on doing one SMC. Right, and I think that's the good thing to have, right? We can't have geriatric parties running around town, right?
Yeah.
Right, and it's very good that the youth are saying, you know what? Anyway, I spend so much time working, and my future. They don't want to join politics because they want to backside itchy, come out and do anything, and just because they want to do that. It's because they really cannot afford housing. Right, it's very clear that they cannot afford housing. They cannot afford to have children. That's why they say, hey, you know what? Next election, if I really have to go and worry about my housing, keep getting retrenched later, I really might as well just join politics also. It's really the true indicator that they're really upset. Yeah, because if whatever I say is nonsense, you'll be just like, this guy is talking rubbish.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hearing a lot what you're saying, and while you're saying all that, I was trying to imagine you wearing white, like all white. Do you think the PAP can accept someone like Jeremy Tan in the ranks and who will speak up against things that he doesn't find?
Maybe the thumbnail, right? You invert my color, right? You just superimpose the.
No, but really, because just now you mentioned, what if I join PAP? But do you think after seeing everything that we've seen in the last 2 weeks that it's possible that PAP, new team, change team, fresh resolve, everything, it's possible that someone like you can fit into their system?
So I give yesterday I give Daily Catch Up some meat which is, I say, I think Singapore can be the best Bitcoin refinery in the world. right? Change all our policies and systems to look at Bitcoin centrally and make it super powerful, we can become very rich and very stable, and inflation will be very low for us. So the stuff I give you all will be about my general conversation with men in white lah. Okay, they asked me this question: can you imagine you in white? Which is what you asked me. And they say, of course, the usual lah. This is a party that fixes problem from within. Our diversity is from within, then we come out and produce a solution, right? But then people are telling me, hey, no lah, they always say this. They just want to co-opt your voice. Later on, you just become quite quiet and you just listen to them the whole time, right? My response to them was, you got 60 months to fix the HDB problem. Whether or not I'm in politics or not, the problem is still there. 500,000 flats will turn more than 45 years old in the next 60 months. Your lease decay, you cannot top them up because that's too costly. You cannot en bloc because everybody will ask for en bloc. Your voucher giving will not be enough in the next 5 years, and you all are going to raise GST in 2030, or rather, as they said, we don't have to raise until 2030. Whether or not I'm in politics, you have that problem. I work with you all on the Bitcoin stuff, and then we solve this problem on the outside, as opposed to me having to join any party. That's my official response to them. But if I have to join the party in order to solve this problem, then I'm not ruling it out. But you cannot tell me it's a matter of party and not party. It's a matter of the policy and the way we treat any cost of living in Singapore. We cannot be addicted to pricing land in a way that we say, hey, land must profit. Some land not supposed to profit. Right? So that's what my stance to them. I say, whether or not you see me in SG, hopefully I don't come back. We solve the problem. That to me is a win for Singapore. Yeah.
Oh, so if you don't have to run, then...
Yeah, I say I don't want to have to run in any party. I say I'd rather we fix the problem of Singaporeans. Back in the day, that was the attitude. What? Singapore going so well, why you want to join politics for? Right? Because things were running well. What? Right? Yeah. But now it's like, hey, there's a bit of problem here. Yeah, so
basically a Batman, and if Harvey Dent can solve all the crimes of Gotham.
Except the bat signal will be a dog.
You know the NRIC, the Batman means Superman. Yeah, my schoolmate lah.
Oh, is it?
For real?
Same age. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. We even fight before.
Fun fact. Wow.
So I mean, like, if you're saying that ideally you don't have to run in 5 years' time, but at the same time you mentioned these two things that you're going to be undertaking. So are you still going to be involved in politics? Sounds like you are.
Yeah, I think I'll have to, 5 years is a very long time to know what's happening, because the Trump tariffs thing, this is just year one. 100 days only. He could play tariffs card for 5 years and people won't understand the changes because people are so busy with their lives. For me, most importantly is go and digest this kind of thing and explain to them, tell them what Trump is thinking, I think right now, top 20 holders of the Trump coin get to have a private dinner with him or something like that. So it's understanding all the tariffs and understanding all the direction of where US and China is going, and then digesting it for the public is important, because they really got no time. They're tired. They're not retired.
Yeah. So that means you will be involved. Your booking link all available.
No. Now I will translate it to more issue based.
Okay.
Because the mandate has been won by Miss Goh, so I must respect the fact that her residents want to see her lah. I'm the loser. Please don't go and AstroTurf lah.
I see.
Okay.
So if people wanted to find out more about what you do, is your website the best, or now your Instagram is your focus? Building your product review capability.
We'll be accepting sponsorship soon. Price list will be sent out. Whoever launching a coin.
Red card. The term is red card. You say price list, you don't sound like influencer.
Media kit.
A politician, not really. No, I think follow me on LinkedIn. Anything that's more academic based, I will put on LinkedIn. Okay. Anything more concrete about LinkedIn. Anything more nonsense one will be on TikTok. Fun with TikTok. I think I'm going on a radio show with 97.2 next week. Maybe I'll do it on TikTok. Put some on TikTok. IG will be maybe my life and more civic group, mental health. I just came off from a SUSS demo day where I found out this beverage made out of Chao Seng lemon. They make hard seltzer out of Chao Seng lemon. Yeah, forgot the name now, but yeah.
But for people who might not know Chao Seng,
Yeah, basically it's a they have sustainability based on making hard seltzer from rotting lemons, and they managed to save lemons, basically be more efficient in making these drinks. So yeah, so I think these things interest me because I just go listen to pictures, all that, go and listen to what people are doing in businesses, because these are the people that totally give up trying to join the corporate world. So quite interesting. Yeah. Red card. I got my red card.
Red card. And Media Kit, red card and Media Kit.
Red card and Media Kit. Yeah. The dog logo is how much?
Then you must go into merch, dog plush toy, plushie.
Yeah, I'll be selling some merch for charity. So
from the election.
From the election.
Oh, really? Like what? The stand?
Clapper? No. Oh. The t-shirt, the Clapper t-shirt and some tissue paper that I'll sell for charity.
And where you be selling it?
I'll be selling it online. I'll stay.
Your website?
My website and my LinkedIn will be able to see. I'll be able to do that. Yeah. You all want to tompang anything? You want to plug anything? No?
No, this is true about you.
It's all about you. Yeah.
We can plug anytime we want.
Wow.
No, maybe next time if there's any policy that's being discussed in Parliament, it's interesting. Love to have you back to give your thoughts.
Confirm.
Now don't worry, we got a special slot for you. But don't know you say we're not one of the main.
You all need to call earlier I got time for it. I want to be on CNA all
Yes. Sorry.
With Steve Chia,
Okay, we just have one thing left, the one Shiok Thing segment.
Can you go first on this one?
You have your one Shiok Thing?
Yeah, mine's a trailer for a very old Japanese movie called Run by Akira Kurosawa. This is the 40th anniversary of that movie being released, and it's now going to be in cinemas again because it's a classic lah. It's a classic. It's 40th anniversary, but you watch it, everything you see in there is like, wow, Lord of the Rings level of the scope and everything, the war scenes, and it's based on a Shakespearean story, so you watch it, you feel it's very deep.
So it's going to be in theatres?
It's going to be in theatres, re-released again. I hope in Singapore also. But I think I had like at least one university course that had this as one of the subjects that I had to watch and write about. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing it in cinemas again. And better than a lot of the summer blockbusters that we're going to see in cinemas in the next couple of months.
Okay, cool. Mine is also a show. It is the second season of Hellbound. You know Hellbound?
No.
It's this Netflix series that I think is based on a comic or some sort of literature before. And it's about this time where people start getting these premonitions telling them that they in 3 days' time they will be sent to hell. And then these 3 ghouls come out and they beat the shit out of them and send them to hell. It's the second season. But what I like about it is that it doesn't really focus on why those ghouls appear. It is focused on how society reacts to that. So you have like some new religions come up and then very polar opposite religions, and how it's very political and it looks at a very dark side of society.
So it's from Hollywood?
No. It's a Netflix show made in Korea.
Korean.
Korean. And the cinematography and acting all pretty solid. Solid. So I'm really enjoying season 2, Hellbound. Okay. Have you watched season 1?
No, I haven't.
I think it's very critically acclaimed, but I don't think it's one of those that burst out like Squid Game or something like that.
Got it.
But yeah, it's great.
Okay,
right,
so
Jeremy.
Yeah. Also on media, just received my book from Prof. Teh Keng Soon. It's called A New World in the Making, Life and Architecture in Tropical Asia.
Yeah.
I hope to meet Prof. Teh Keng Soon one day. But I just received it and I feel like it's a very interesting take on all the things that I've been talking about. Land in Singapore, do we really have insufficient land, or is it just the way we plan land? And this book talks about these things.
And his or her credentials are what?
He's a professor. He's a professor in US. Okay. So he used to be a professor. And then I think the writer for there's a SG60 book coming up from Woon Tai Ho. He wrote for
Mountbatten.
Musings with Josh Yo.
Used to be a Straits Times editor.
Yes,
right?
yes. And I'll be having a chapter inside.
Oh.
Losers Corner.
No, I mean, as in, it's already written already, or
No. So I'll be, I think I'll be interviewing with him this Sunday.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, hopefully the ISD don't pecah my Telegram league chat before Sunday.
But SG60, we're already halfway through the year. Can fit you.
I
in
guess
the
maybe because it must coincide the August.
I see.
Yeah. So that book, I don't know what the title is yet. He haven't told me yet.
Yeah.
But that is the one Shiok Thing lah.
Got it. Speaking of ISD or that, I just now I was just opening up my
text you,
YouTube.
they
No,
just
I was
text you.
opening up my YouTube to look for my one Shiok Thing, right? Then the first shot that pops up is GE2025. This is gambling. Philippines Goh Sze Kee. I don't know why it suddenly is on the first shot on my phone. Probably they can hear while I'm being fed the information about
ISD say,
Bitcoin.
hey bro, scroll down a bit more. Is there?
Just play this. Play this. But awesome, man. Thanks for taking the time.
Thanks so much.
Great to finally have you on. And I mean, keep in touch. Like what Terence said, anytime there's some new policy thing or if you have a new message to spread, right? You send us an email, we might consider lah.
Okay.
You write a cover letter and all. Then we decide.
Okay.
But congrats ultimately. Congrats on the strong showing.
It's
hopefully you take your talents to the place that needs it the most within Singapore.
Have you seen Netflix special One Stand-Up Comedy by Jeremy Tan? Full-time pay, part-time job.
I was
That's
just
the name of
just with the founder of LA Comedy Live. She was saying she's trying to breed more local talent instead of buying shows. Yeah. So maybe I got a new career already.
Oh, nice, man. But awesome. Thanks so much for coming, Jeremy.
Thanks so much, guys.
To everyone listening, all the links are in the show notes. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you all very soon.
All right.